Hello and welcome to Bio 253. Today I wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to navigate around the course and really what everybody wants to know, what am I supposed to do? So when you first come into the course, it should look something like this. This is your Canvas shell and you're going to start here. So you can look through this at the instructor information, the assignment descriptions, grading policies, etc. All of this information is also found in your syllabus. You can click on the syllabus link to find that. In this link, we have two documents that are very important. The course syllabus contains all of the policies and information that you're going to need to basically exist as a student. And the schedule is going to be the specific schedule for your section of Bio 253. Although the syllabus has a generalized version of this schedule, the one with all the dates on it and when you should do things is actually right here. You can also scroll down and see all of the things that have to be submitted on this course summary. On the right-hand side, you can see the weights for each of the different categories. And if you're interested in learning about how things are weighted, you can go ahead and look in the syllabus. There's some information there on it. So once you have gone through all of that stuff, you need to get set up in the course. So you're going to look through this to do ASAP and do all the different setup things that you are required to do. Most of them do have due dates on them. I will remind you to get that introduction quiz done as soon as possible. That is the thing that I look at when I verify attendance in the course. So you're going to need to look at the syllabus before you take the introduction quiz. There is a list of to-do things on the right-hand side. As you go through and complete them, they should go away, although if they don't, you can always click on the X to make them leave the to-do list. And that kind of shows you what's upcoming. And you can see after all of these to-do things, the first real assignment is this Chapter 1 and 2 AVQ. And the AVQ is active video questions. So what is that? Well, in order to explain that, let me go to the All Contents link. This is where all of your content lives. So if you're wondering, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to read? Click on the All Content link. It opens up a page that looks like this. And this really gives you all of the links to things that you're supposed to be doing in the class. I suggest you bookmark this site right away so you won't have to go into Canvas every time you need one of these links. Along the bottom, you can see that there are different units. And so if you are in Unit 1, this is all of the information for Unit 1, including our major assessments at the end of the unit. The place to start is really either the videos or the textbook reading. It's really up to you which one you like to do first. Sometimes I like to do the videos first, and if you would want to do that, you would click on the videos and go down them in order. You can see which sections or areas of the textbook you need to read. Chapter 1, you would do sections 1 through 4, and Chapter 2, you would read all of Chapter 2. In order to find the textbook reading, you would go down to the area that says Mastering A&P and click on the textbook link. Once you do that, it's going to open up the textbook. Now, the first time you do it, you're going to have to scroll down and agree to a whole bunch of stuff. But once you get through it, you'll be able to see the textbook. To navigate through the textbook, click on the table of contents, and then you can open up various parts of the textbook by clicking on it. So here is Section 1, Chapter 1, and this is where you would start reading. Closing this table of contents allows the screen to be bigger, and you can just move through the textbook by clicking ahead. Anytime you need to skip to a different section or chapter, come back to the table of contents. So that's where you find all the stuff on the textbook. Then I would watch the videos. We have tried to group content areas together. You can see there's a box around this area. So all the stuff that's in Chapter 1, you would read about it, you would watch the videos associated with it, and then these are your Quizlet sets that are associated with this content. Sometimes there's more than one Quizlet set. Once you have gone through and read all this stuff and watched all this stuff, you're going to be filling out something called an AVQ. AVQ is an active video question, and these are questions based on what you're watching in these videos. You can click on this AVQ link and open up the AVQ. But you will not be able to type your answers directly into here. You're going to have to make a copy and save it to your own Google Drive account to be able to edit it. So the instructions to do that are here. When you are finished, you're going to go back to Canvas and you're going to either click on the AVQ submission link there, or you can scroll down and find the AVQ submission link there. And there are instructions in there how to submit it. You're going to be copying and pasting it in. Once you have gathered that content and practiced some of the vocabulary, it's time to start applying that. And we're going to do that with different labs throughout the course. You can find the labs under the lab column. Again, you're not going to be able to write directly on this or type directly on this. You're going to have to make a copy and save it to your account as such. If you are in an in-person, face-to-face class, meaning you come to campus and meet with your instructor, you are going to be doing this in class and we're going to be working on it together. If you are in an online class, this is something that you will go through to make sure that you are really getting the content from the videos, the Quizlet sets, and the textbook reading. These are not things that you have to turn in. However, regardless of whether you're in an in-person or an online class, you will have a post-lab quiz. You can see the post-lab quizzes are listed here. They're also going to be on the schedule, and they're also going to be under the to-do list. Do not get fooled and think that the lab quizzes, which are worth points, are something that need to be started and finished in one day. You should be working on all of this material and be pretty comfortable with it before starting the lab. And then once you've finished with your lab, you take the post-lab quiz to test yourself and see how you're doing. If you are struggling with the labs and filling them out, or you do not do very well on the post-lab quizzes, that is the time to get in touch with your instructor and ask for extra help. Do not wait until you are struggling with the exam material. Speaking of exams, we also have all of our assessment material listed for each unit. And there are three main types of assessments you're going to have in this class. The first one is kind of the easiest one, which is vocabulary. The reason this is sort of the easiest one is because we give you a list of all the vocabulary that you are required to learn. The words that are in bold are the ones that you are expected to know the definition of. Well, you don't even have to look up the definitions for these things because we gave you Quizlet sets. Remember, Quizlet is an online flashcard program, so we already have it set up. The bolded items that you see here are actually the words on the Quizlet sets. So if you are practicing these Quizlet sets, you should be pretty good with the vocab. The next type of assessment we have are cross-braining videos. Cross-braining is a platform that helps you make videos. So as you're watching the lecture videos, just imagine you're going to be making one yourself. But we will walk you through how to do that. You can see, when we click on this, exactly what the question will be for making this video. So you've got 4 little steps that you're supposed to include in your video, and we have a grading rubric which tells you exactly how many points each step is worth. So there'll be more on that coming up. The last type of assessment is an essay exam. But luckily for you, you get the essay questions in advance. These are the potential essay questions for Unit 1, and you can see that there's 3 of them. 3? Yes, 3. Now, you will not know which questions or which parts of questions will be on the exam. So your job is to prepare answers to all of these questions. Now, while we encourage you to use the videos, use the textbook, use all different resources in your preparation to answer these questions, you will not have any notes or any access to those materials during the exam. You're going to have to practice your answers enough that you remember them when it comes to the essay exam. So speaking of that, I'd like to talk for a moment about schedule. Now you should receive a schedule that looks something like this, and this happens to be the schedule for this semester, and I want to talk about this statement right here. You know the due date. You know the due date because it's in Canvas and it pops up and it tells you you're supposed to do something. So you can see here's our post-lab quiz, which is due. However, if you start doing the material that's required for the post-lab quiz on this date, if you do it as the due, D-O date, you're going to be in a lot of trouble because remember, you actually need to read all this stuff, watch these videos, practice these Quizlet sets in order to even start the lab. So I want to ask you to start doing something I call student math, which means that if I need to watch 2 videos and read almost an entire chapter, I have to take that due date, the DUE date, and I have to start counting backwards. Okay, well, if I'm going to watch the 2 videos, maybe I'm going to do those Wednesday night. And if I have to read the chapter in the textbook, maybe I'll start doing that Tuesday night. And if I have to start practicing those Quizlet sets, maybe I'll start doing them Monday night, right? So it's kind of a way to figure out what the due date is and start counting backwards. This really comes into effect when we have to start doing cross-braining videos. So in this semester that I'm in right now, the cross-braining video is due September 6th, which happens to be my anniversary. So since I know it's my anniversary, I'm probably going to go out to a fancy dinner, and so I don't want to do any work that night. So I might put as my goal to have that cross-braining video done by Thursday night. In order to have it done by Thursday night, I'm going to have to start working on it when? Well, probably since I think there's 4 steps we looked at for the homeostasis, I might want to start doing steps 1 and 2 on Tuesday and steps 3 and 4 on Wednesday. And then I'm going to do like a review on Thursday and then I can submit it. And now it's done. And so that's what I mean when I talk about student math. It's this idea that you don't start thinking about it when it pops up on your to-do list. Like, oh, something's due tomorrow. Better start thinking about it. You guys need to use the tools that we've given you to look ahead and to start planning things out. I hope this was helpful in getting a feel for where things are in the course and how to approach it. We are so excited to be sharing this new Bio 253 with you, and we cannot wait to get started learning. We'll see you in class.